Okay, second phase of the cardiac cycle, which is the ventricular systole and arterial diastole. Ventricular systole means the contraction of the ventricle, and arterial diastole is the relaxation of the atria. This phase takes about 0.3 seconds. So what happened in this phase? The blood starts to fill up the atrium. So blood starts to fill up the atrium. So this blood actually comes from the veins, the large vein and the large artery, which is the vena cava, the anterior and posterior vena cava, as well as the aorta. Okay, so filled up the atrium. So the ventricles contract, so because this one is ventricle systole, and the pressure will increase or rises in ventricle when compared with the arteries. So the pressure in ventricle is higher when compared to the atria. Okay. In this phase, in the second phase, the AV valves, AV stands for atrioventricular valves. So these AV valves are right AV valves, the tricuspid valve, and the left AV valve, which is the bicuspid or mitral valve. So AV valves close, shut. So the closing, the shutting of the AV valves cause the loud sound. If I say that there's no loud sound produced, but instead is murmur, like hissing sound, like snake, hissing sounds. So probably there's a leakage of the valve. When there's a leakage of the valve, means that the blood will flow backwards. From the ventricle, for example, we go backward to the artery. There's a leakage, probably the valve collapse, so it doesn't shut properly. So that's the hissing. So that's why the valves are very important, the right and left AV valves. So closing is important to prevent the backflow of the blood, to prevent blood from returning to the atria. So during this time, the pressure in ventricle are higher when compared to the aorta and pulmonary artery. When one type of valve close, another type of valve open. So there are two types of valves. One is AV valves, another one is semilunar valves. Semilunar valves are known as pulmonic or aortic valve. It's located at the pulmonary artery, and another semilunar valve is located at the aorta. That's why it's known as pulmonic valves, and another one is the aortic valve. So if one valve closes, another valve opens. So in this case, AV valves close, that produces a loud sound, and the semilunar valves open. So when the semilunar valves opened, it allows the flow of the blood from into the large arteries from the ventricle. Daripada ventricle, dia pergi kepada large arteries, which is the aorta. Okay, so this is the things that happened in second phase of the cardiac cycle. Are you following me? Are you okay with the explanation? Anything that I need to clarify again on this? Are you okay, everyone?
Okay, madam.
So far okay, madam.
Okay. So far okay, yeah?